Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding that your work just no longer exists. A machine, software, or artificial intelligence now does everything you did, only better, faster, and cheaper. It looks like a movie thing, right? But this reality may be closer than you think. Elon Musk, one of the most influential entrepreneurs in the world, has said that there will be fewer and fewer jobs a robot cannot do better than a human. And according to him, this transition cannot be avoided. The question is, not if this will happen, but when. AI is already replacing manual and even intellectual work. Autonomous cars threaten drivers, accounting software make calculations without error, chatbots serve customers without needing a human being. Before long, millions of jobs can disappear. And the question is, what will we do when AI would take over the job market? According to a report from the World Economic Forum, by 2025, 85 million jobs will be eliminated by automation. On the other hand, new functions can arise, but will these opportunities be accessible to everyone? Given this scenario, Elon Musk suggests a controversial solution: Universal Basic Income, RBU. According to him, when there is no more work for everyone, governments will have to pay a fixed salary to each citizen, regardless of whether he is employed or not. But would this really work? Or would we be walking to an unprecedented social crisis? In the next topic, let's understand how AI is already transforming the job market and what professions may be told. If a few years ago automation was a concern only for manual jobs, today the reality is quite different. Artificial intelligence is replacing not only repetitive work, but also activities that once demanded human reasoning and creativity. To understand the impact of this, just look at some of the professions that have already been partially or fully automated. Telemarketing attendants, chatbots, and virtual assistants such as ChatGPT and Alexa already do this work without needing a human being on the other side of the line. Supermarket boxes. Many markets in the United States and Europe already use self-service systems, eliminating the need for cash staff. Transport and delivery drivers. Companies like Tesla and Waymo already have autonomous cars that can replace taxi drivers, Uber, and delivery trucks. Journalists and content breeders. Yes, even professions that depend on creativity are being affected. Algorithms can already write news, scripts, and even create complete videos, and that is just the beginning. According to a study by McKinsey Consultancy, by 2030, about 800 million jobs can be lost for automation. But does that mean that the end of human work is close? The truth is that while some jobs disappear, new functions arise. Positions such as AI engineers, data analysts, and technology ethics experts are on the rise. However, the big question is, will everyone have the ability to adapt to these new professions? Not everyone will have time, money, or knowledge to learn a new skill and migrate to another sector. This can lead to massive structural unemployment, where millions of people will simply be able to replace the market. And that's exactly why Elon Musk and other experts believe that universal basic income can be the only viable solution. But how would this economic model work? In the next topic, let's understand how RBU can impact our lives. If artificial intelligence really ends millions of jobs, how will people survive? Where will the money come from to pay the bills, buy food, and maintain a decent standard of living? It is in this scenario that the proposal of Universal Basic Income, RBU, arises, an idea that Elon Musk believes to be inevitable. The concept is simple. All citizens would receive a fixed monthly value from the government, regardless of whether they are employed or not. RBU has already been tested in some parts of the world, and the results were interesting. Finland, 2017 to 2018, An experiment paid about €560 per month for unemployed. The result? The beneficiaries reported greater well-being and less financial stress, but there was no great impact on return to work. Canada, Ontario, 2017-2019. The government offered a value between $1,320 and $1,220 Canadian dollars per month for low-income participants. The experiment was closed before the conclusion, but the data indicated improvement in quality of life. United States, Alaska. Since 1982, each state has pays for an annual value to all citizens through the Alaska Permanent Fund, which distributes part of the profits of oil exploration. The idea of a universal salary may seem utopian, but the logic behind it is clear. If machines are producing all wealth, this money needs to be redistributed in some way. But there is a big problem. Where would this money come from? Some proposals suggest that large technology and automation companies, such as Tesla, Amazon, and Google, pay more taxes to finance RBU. Others advocate the use of natural resources or even government-controlled digital currencies to support the system. The point is that, although it seems an interesting solution, universal basic income has a lot of criticism. Would it really work in practice? Or would you create a society dependent on government aid? In the next topic, let's see the arguments against the RBU and the challenges it can bring. The idea of receiving money every month without having to work may seem attractive, but is universal basic income, RBU, really viable? Although Elon Musk and other experts defend this solution, many economists, entrepreneurs, and politicians question their practical and sustainable effects. Here are the main criticisms of RBU. 1. Who will pay this bill? Governments already face difficulties in maintaining basic social programs. If RBU were implemented, the costs would be gigantic. To finance this model, some proposals include increased taxes to large companies. But this could lead companies to leave the country. Robot rating and automation. But wouldn't that be free of innovation? Tax on big fortunes. Would it be enough to cover billions of people? None of these models are simple, and each would have direct impacts on the global economy. 2. The risk of creating an accommodated society. If people received money without having to work, would it reduce productivity? Some critics claim that RBU could generate a government-dependent society where few would be motivated to seek jobs and undertake. But there is a counter-argument. In experiments like Finland, people have not stopped working. In fact, many have invested this money in education or new business. That is, the impact of RBU may vary depending on the culture and economic context of each country. 3. Would the distributed money be sufficient? If the value of RBU is too high, it could generate inflation, reducing the purchasing power of the population. If it is too low, it would not solve the problem of inequality. What would be the ideal balance? 4. The elite would continue to concentrate riches. Even with RBU, economic power would follow in the hands of large corporations and technology billionaires. After all, they control automation and artificial intelligence systems. Would RBU really redistribute wealth fairly? Despite these criticisms, some experts believe that RBU may only be part of the solution. Other measures, such as reduction of working hours, professional training and incentives for new employment areas, can be combined to avoid social collapse. But beyond economic issues, there is an even greater challenge. If it was going to eliminate the need for work, what will make sense of people's lives? In the next topic, we will discuss a problem that even Elon Musk himself is sure how to solve. If work is no longer a need to survive, how will people find purpose and meaning in life? This is one of the biggest challenges of the age of artificial Intelligence, and neither Elon Musk has a clear answer to it. For centuries, work was seen as a pillar of human identity. Our routine, social status, and even self-esteem are deeply linked to what we do to live. In many cultures, work is not just a source of income. It gives a sense of purpose and usefulness. But what happens when machines do everything for us? This is an issue that has already begun to affect some areas. See the example of retirees or people who inherited fortunes and do not need to work. Many of them report feelings of loneliness, lack of purpose, and even depression. The same can happen with society on a large scale if work becomes irrelevant. Alternatives to find purpose without work. If a future without work is inevitable, humanity will need to find new forms of meaning. Some possibilities include creativity and art. With less need for work, people could dedicate themselves more to music, literature, cinema, and arts in general. Science and research. A world without work could release brilliant minds to explore new fields of science and innovation. Activism and volunteering. Many people could invest time by helping others and contributing to important causes. Digital simulation of experiences. Some theories suggest that in the future, we will live immersive virtual realities that will replace the need for work as a source of meaning. On the other hand, there is a huge risk: boredom and existential emptiness. German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said that human beings need challenges and difficulties to grow. If everything is easy and accessible, will we lose the motivation to evolve? The truth is that we are not sure what this future will be like. AI can free humanity from the need to work or create a global identity crisis. What leads us to the big question: is universal basic income really the solution, or just a temporary palliative? In the next and last topic, we will close this discussion and leave an important question for you to reflect. Artificial intelligence is advancing quickly, and the question is no longer if it will replace millions of jobs, but when. Elon Musk and other experts believe that the only solution to avoid social collapse is universal basic income. But would this really work? On the one hand, RBU could ensure that no one would starve or live in misery in a world where I was doing all the work. But on the other, there are still many questions without answer. Who will finance this system? How to prevent society from becoming government dependent? Will people still have motivation to innovate and grow? And beyond economic issues, there is the deeper problem. What will make sense to human life in a world where to work is no longer a necessity? For some, this future can be a paradise of freedom and creativity. For others, it can be a difficult existential void to endure. The truth is that no one knows exactly how this will happen. But one thing is certain: the next decades will be decisive in defining the role of work in society. Now I want to know your opinion. Do you believe that artificial intelligence will end jobs? Is universal basic income the solution or just a palliative? Would you feel well living in a world where you don't have to work? Leave your comment. Let's discuss this future together. Subscribe to the channel for more technology content, AI, and the future of work. Leave your like if this video made you think. Until next time.